about 5 minutes ago. So before Danny comes on stage, I'm super excited about hearing Danny's story. He has just walked in just over here. We're just going to start by playing Danny's video, and then we'll bring him on stage. It's all right. You can take it back. I know, I said that.
Now, you brought something on. This is interesting. It is makeup for men, and it's called warpaint.
It's not called makeup, it's warpaint.
I'm ready to put my warpaint on.
I would love to work with you.
I'm going to make you an offer.
I'm going to make you an offer.
I'm going to make you an offer.
Let's do it. Done. Excellent. Well done, mate. Great.
Behind it is warpaint founder Danny Gray.
Was that deliberate to make it just sound like a lad's brand? Not even a lad's brand, but a man's brand.
To a partnership between Norwich and men's makeup brand Warpaint.
It's okay for guys to use tools to deal with things that insecurities, is it mental health, or is it just you want to feel good in yourself?
Let's make up and be friendly. With love and admiration, Stephen Fry.
Not about me coming up and putting products on players. The day that Warpaint opened the first ever men's makeup and wellness store in the world, right here on Carnaby Street, London.
Have you guys seen that the world's first makeup store for men is opened in London? But its aim is to break down the stigma of men wearing makeup.
So can we please welcome Danny from Warpaint to the stage? Grab a seat. Oh, do you want to sit there? Yeah. Hey, Danny.
Hiya. Sorry about this earlier. My train,
right.
I hate being late, my train was cancelled. And then the next train was, not a quick train, it was 40 minutes. So I've just had...
Isn't that the most stressful thing when you know you're going to be speaking, you're running late, and you're very much at Wood Lane Station about a minute before you're meant to be on stage? Can you imagine the stress?
And then I was outside trying to find where it was.
Oh, God.
I was trying to call you, my phone ran out. I'm not even joking. I was like, I'm so sorry.
But Danny, thank God for your video, because that's an amazing video. Now, can I just check who here has heard of Warpaint or heard of... There you are. See, look at that. An incredible amount of brand awareness that you've built. So, Danny, just start by telling us, because this is a brand born out of your personal story, just tell us where it all began and why.
Yeah, so it's amazing to see how many people have heard about the brand, which is wicked. So it is really personal for me, is that when I was 12 years old, my ears were right angles to my head. And they were that bad, my mum wouldn't let me out when it was windy. I can make a joke of it now, but they were bad. I got bullied just for a couple of weeks at school. I was always all right at school. I didn't have an issue. I never thought about anything out of nowhere. I was bullied for 2 weeks because of my ears, and they were singing the R. Kelly song, I Believe I Can Fly. I know, and I can't listen to any R. Kelly songs, but thank God, that's actually a bonus now. But in all seriousness, so I started obsessing about the way I look. So within about 2 or 3 months, at 12 years old, my ears been back.
Yeah.
So that really told me how bad it was. So that was done on the NHS. But it didn't really fix the issue. So getting to about 15, 16, I started getting spots, not acne. But for me, it was a massive, massive deal. So I turned to my sister. She gave me a concealer, and I couldn't believe what a product did. So I've been wearing makeup every day for the last 20 years, and it's something that I've used because it's given me confidence, and it's helped me deal with my mental health. So, but from being bullied, it moved on a lot more from that. So I suffer with something now called body dysmorphic disorder, so BDD.
What is body dysmorphic disorder? Because people don't necessarily know.
Well, it's a condition where, it's a mental health condition where you obsess about the way you look to minute detail. So, for example, I'm a lot better now, but like when I was 28, 29, it could take me, I don't know, 3-4 hours getting ready. I'd have 5-6 showers and playing with my hair constantly. I thought I was losing my hair, which, if you look at my hair, I'm really fortunate. I'm not. I've had a hair transplant and I didn't need it, but that's because what body dysmorphia can do to you. So for 2 years, every minute of every day, I thought about was hair loss, and it consumed me.
So completely obsessive.
Yeah, and all it was that makeup is something I've used that's just, it's been a tool to help me manage it. So, but what I couldn't find was I felt a brand that related to me as a man or something I could buy. Confidence in store. Yeah. And I thought that the education was severely lacking because I thought women, I thought, made it sound complicated, makeup, where for me it was about really simply just evening out my skin tone. So I wanted to create my own brand.
So what year did you start Warpaint in?
I thought about sort of came up with it about 5 years. Well, I've been thinking about it for a long time. It took about 14 months of development. And when I say development, I had a full-time job, used all my savings. I was on the golf course one day, and my best mate turned around to me and said, "You've got to stop talking about doing a brand and just do it." And it was something like flicked in my head. It took about 14 months of loads of ups and downs, but launched November 2018, November the 1st.
Great, and it really changed for you, didn't it, when you brought your personal story? We went on Dragon's Den and you brought your personal story into the brand at scale. Do you want to tell us a bit about that, what you did?
Yeah, so when we first launched, it was me and a 19-year-old girl in a flat in Watford, not knowing what we're doing.
Yeah. I
forecasted the first month we'd do like £2,000 in sales, we did 11. Second month we did 28, the third month we did 37. I was a bit like I literally out of a flat, picking in my Fiat 500, dropping these deliveries off or to the post office. So it's going really well. We're sort of growing, but what we done, I wanted to approach it in a very different way, right? So I was using guys with tattoos up to their neck. So like 4 or 5 years ago, that was a very new trend, and no one had really done it before. So we put that an advert out on Twitter after a few months, and then it was my sister's birthday, so it was May the 9th. So I went for dinner with her and the family, and then the girl who was working with me called me and says, "We're going viral." And I was like, "What do you mean?" I'd never heard of viral. And I looked at my phone, and it was 250,000 views within 2 hours on Twitter.
250,000 reviews?
Views.
Views, okay.
Views on Twitter in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like that, but it was all negative. Like everything. It was just negative, and I was like, oh, shit. And I said, "Can you take it down? Take it down." She went, "We can't now." It's like, it's gone. So I'm like, imagine, I start thinking, look again, 750,000, 1.5 million. And in 24 hours, I had 8 million views, trending #1 in the world on Twitter on that day. I was on ABC News, but it was all negative. Like, toxic masculinity, this is a joke, men should just go and buy female brands. So...
And people questioning why men even needed makeup.
Yeah, but no one... My story at that point was on the About Us page, and it was really hidden. Yeah. Because I was scared of shouting about it too much, so no one was going negative about that. All the negative is about the idea of what I was trying to do. So it was really hard. Like, we were in every press article you can imagine. Like, internet backlashes over men's makeup. So that was really difficult. But now, what I've learned now, I'd probably go back and amplify it. And about at the time when I started, I was like, "Oh my God, the brand's dead." So funny enough, 2 days later, that was on a Tuesday. On the Thursday, I was in Manchester filming Dragon's Den. Yeah. Like, by chance. And I can remember I was driving up to from London to Manchester to film. And I had to pull over to do interviews with America because about what's going on. And then I had to go on to Dragon's Den. So I made a conscious decision to tell my story on Dragon's Den, which was a big thing for me because all my local friends didn't know all makeup. And not a lot of them knew I had a makeup brand, right? So it was, if you're going to do it properly, right?
So you did tell your story, and then what difference did that make? What happened?
Well, that was massive for me because everyone sort of we got a lot of positive press afterwards, and Daily Mail and everyone was saying about the story and resonate with it. I got so many private messages, and that made me realise that's how I need to drive this brand, because it's real. It's about why I want to create the brand. So all this content you're watching, that's why we put a lot of content out.
Yeah.
Because it's all about building a brand, and it's not about, it is about the product. Product's incredible, but it's about, all I want to do is give men a choice, because I feel there's a lot of guys out there who probably wouldn't try makeup, who would benefit from it because of the stigma that's attached to it.
So one thing we've talked obviously a lot over the past few months, and one thing you've talked about is you haven't just created a product, but you've built a brand, and that will enable you to do a lot more. Talk about some of the things you've said. You said to me, if you're going to launch a skincare brand and you say it's all about sustainability, then everyone's doing sustainability. There's more to it than that. So talk about some of the things that you've put into the warpaint brand. You also said some people say we plant trees in Africa, but everyone plants trees in Africa.
No, no. What I was trying to say by that is, I think there's so many brands coming up, and there's, I don't know, what is your USP, right? So if it is sustainability, that is great, you've got to go hard in it. But I think if someone's just trying to not tick a box, but like ingredients, right? So
yeah.
I think a skincare brand coming around now, about one ingredient, it's going to be very difficult to cut through.
Yeah.
It's going to be very, very difficult. And when I talk about sustainability, it's not our key USP, but we're looking at everything sustainable in our products, because it's a given, you have to do that now. So all I want to, it's about more of the overall mission for me rather than a product or an ingredient of what we're trying to do, and be proud of it, really. I think that'll go a long way.
And what are some of the mistakes that you've made that you think other people can learn from?
Not going with my gut on a few occasions. I've known something's not right in the business, and your gut is your biggest teller. And someone asked me, how do you tell what your gut is? And for me, it was about, so Carnaby Street, right?
Yeah.
We launched that. I'm not going to make any money on Carnaby Street. We're going to lose money, right? It's expensive. So I'm pitching to my board. Like, I've got a board, investors, and I had the idea of, I wanted to have the first ever men's makeup brand, store. And they're like, they sort of think, I said, I don't care if we sell one product. I don't care through that store, because I want to be the first to do it, because it helps cement the sector and make it become more normal. And then it is going well enough.
So it's open now. It's open all the time.
Yeah. Fully staffed. Kit, it looks great, and they should pop in. But the whole thing for me was to do that. Nothing about product. It was about brand. And I don't know if you saw, there was a book on there as well. Do you know who knows Haynes? They do the car manuals. Yeah, they used to do the car manuals and build cars. They reached out to me like 18 months ago. So we want to do a book with you. So we did the first ever men's makeup book. It was a men's makeup manual with Haynes, which is just a bit bizarre. But again, that took a lot of time, a lot of effort, but I didn't care if we sold a single book. It wasn't about that. It was about us being the first to do it. So, but so many mistakes. What I was going to say, sorry, long-winded, about the gut thing. When I was saying I want to do the store, they said if someone else, my gut was saying I had to do it, because if someone else had done it and I hadn't, I would literally get a bucket and puke in it. That's my gut telling me you need to. Do you know what I mean? So I think just go with your gut and believe in yourself, because still to this day I don't believe in myself. I come across very confident, but for a long time I didn't believe in the brand. Long time. Only literally last few months I've started to think it might work, which is bizarre. So.
Yeah, that is incredible, considering everybody in this room knows about, pretty much everybody had their hand up to knowing about warpaint and what you've done. So we're going to come on to your because warpaint has also then given birth to another venture, which we're going to play another video, which is super, super interesting. This is your venture, Jack. And then we can take some questions from people who've got some questions for you. Great. So do you want to we'll play the Jack video in a minute, but do you want to just set the scene about how that came about?
Yeah, so talking about brand really quickly, for me, I was getting loads of messages of people reaching out to me saying, it's incredible what you're doing for mental health, it's so good, and I've had personal stories, but I felt a bit of a fraud, because all I'm doing was talking about mental health, and I wanted to do more than that. And one thing dawned on me, I had a girl reach out to me on Instagram, say her boyfriend's got body dysmorphia, she didn't know. He's just told her, because he's been following my stories, he said, can we have a call, because he's really struggling. So I was like, of course. It was a Friday night. He was in bits. He's in bits on this Zoom call. And she said, I just don't get it. I tell him all the time he looks great, and he's just like that. I said, I'll be honest, when I was in my worst, that's probably the worst thing you could have said to me. And she was like, what? And he's like, And so we had this long conversation about why maybe it's not about, at that moment, my mum used to say, you look amazing, but I'll be like, fuck off, mum, you don't know what's going on in my head. So it dawned on me about information. And by the way, he went to his local GP, and the lead time to see a specialist for BDD was 36 weeks. So he's gone to his GP, he's in shit, and you've got to wait 36 weeks. And that's not the NHS fault, it's just because it's overwhelmed. So we need to get information out about mental health in a better way. So I came up with the concept of JAQ. It is JAAQ, and it stands for Just Ask a Question. And this is it.